There are things that we do not talk about. Give me 1 second. There are things that we do not talk about. Uh, being anything from protocols at a funeral or protocols at a wedding, because the dignitaries in our individual families have decreed that either that is for the older folk to decide, or it's something that just happens, just miraculously happens. We don't talk. We don't talk openly about sex and sexuality to our nephews and our nieces. We don't talk openly about sex and sexuality to our sons and our daughters. But yet we expect grandchildren, we expect to become great uncles. In no way is the education department going to condone or teach anything indecent to your children. I think that my message would then be just to echo Anzi Mocheka's sentiment and say, work with us. I'm a facilitator myself. I've done a couple of government programs, and you get children that are already curious. Research indicates that, especially from an LGBTQ stance, sorry, it's Friday, that people are coming out of the closet, as it were, later and earlier in life. And yes, indeed, some cases later and later in life, because societal conventions dictated that, you did what was the status quo. You got married and you had your 2.5 kids, regardless of your orientation. But then later on in life, you got a divorce and did what your body and heart and soul taught you to do. And then that causes strife. Well, now here we have a golden opportunity to eradicate a lot of that. I think us as South Africans would need to start giving the education department a chance when it comes to this. I'm not saying we're going to do away with traditions of regard completely, but what I am saying is give it a chance and see where it goes. Particularly, and I speak with a modicum of respect on this, linked to body politics, the Body Tissue Act, care attendants, and so on, and family members. But particularly for persons with disabilities, we need to start embracing it, not just from an LGBTQ perspective, but from a heteronormative perspective as well. In that, when we do it, we need to realize that Johnny on the wheelchair also wants that car. Johnny on the wheelchair also wants to marry Sally from across the road or the girl next door and want to have children. But in terms of disability, we then need to acknowledge that there might be an extra step. Instead of a kiss goodnight on the first date, he's going to get it on the third date. And for a teenager that doesn't necessarily understand to wait for the third date as an adult, he's just going to open himself up to a lot of rejection because he's going to target the wrong type of person. And it's so difficult because sometimes, as a disabled person growing up, you see your mom and your parents do, and that becomes your erotic mold. You're learning by osmosis. But when you don't have a template of another disabled person like you, it causes problems. I was one of the lucky ones to have a couple of paraplegic folk around me, to show me this is how you behave yourself as a man. This is what you do, even in the position that you are in. But for many of us, and this is where the school curriculum comes into perfect play, the lesson can be taught in schools because, let's face it, there are some members of our family whose worldview is stunted, and then there are some members of our family who have a wide enough worldview but refuse to touch the topic. And I think let the teachers then intercede, just like a priest would bless the coffin, and our prayers would follow in, as in further intercession for the departed, or our priest would bless a union, and our prayers would follow as intercession. Let the teacher serve as as someone that can provide intercession. I can assure you, having studied at Cape Peninsula University of Technology and having had two friends in the education faculty who given me a hand a couple of times, they first learn the lesson which the very child needs to learn. So nothing inappropriate will be disseminated from the South African Qualifications Authority. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to post directly to my Facebook. I'm going to post directly to my YouTube channel. Please feel free to leave a comment or two in the comment section. Have a blessed Friday, everybody. Condoms and tolerance, please.